Good morning, nakap, everyone. So today we are going to continue talking about the if function, and I try to finalize all the if functions that we have to know in this class. Okay, right. All right. So let me just like share the screen for the if function that we learned on the last class. All right. On the last class, we talk about the nested if that we have to know the nested if that we have to know. Okay, let me just like show you the screen. In here, you can see that whenever we have to use the nested if, it means that whenever we have more than more than two choices in order to make a decision, especially for the logical test that you have to test more than once. Then the things that you have to do is that you have to use a nested if instead. And normally, you have to know that whenever we have to talk about the nested if, one thing that you have to know is that for the nested if you have to just like compare anything that is the numbers, normally we use the tool that is the number line to help. The number line can help us in order to justify the things. For example, when we have the when we have the range of the grade. Okay, let me just like show you this one. You can see that in this example, whenever we have the grade to be justified, we have like the range of the score. You can see that in here we have different ranges. We have three different ranges. So that's why when we have more than one range, okay, for in this case, nested if must be used. And when you use a nested if, the way that we did was that we just like use a number line to help instead. Whenever you need to have the number line. Normally number line is applicable to any numbers that you just like use to compare. So the way that we have to do if you have to use a number line is that you have to just like see first what are the numbers that are the boundary of each justification. For example, 0 to 59, 60 to 79, 80 to 100 in here. We try to just like stick to the value that is like very easy to consider. For example, in here, when we have 59 and 60, instead of having 59 and also 60 as well in the number line, we just stick on 60. What about 59? Any value that is like, for example, 59, for sure, we just like use the relative expression to compare. 59 is a value that is less than 60. So we can use 60 as one point, one spot of value that we have got. In the same ideas, 79 and 80, we can just like spot 80 on our number line, and then we just like use 79 as a value that is less than 80 as well. So when we do like that, the things that we have got will be like this. Okay, we just like plot the numbers that we are considering. So we have 0, 60, 80, and 100. Okay, after that, for the range to justify, for example, for 0 to 59, you can see that 0 to 59 is in this range that is less than 60, right? Okay, the things we do is that we just like put the circle on these two values, 0 and 60, like this. By the way, if you don't want to check the value that is less than 0, you can leave this part as the arrowhead like that without any problems. For the first range, it's 0 to 59. That means we exclude 60. The circle that we put must be the white circle. Next range is from 60 to 79. From 60 to 79 here, we put the circle and we draw the line to connect between two circles. But you have to consider first, when you say that you have like 60 to 79, once you circle at 80, you have to exclude it. while 60 นะครับ we include 60 in the second range, so that's why we put the dark circle here นะครับ when you just like do it already นะครับ on the top of the line you write down the value that you would like to use it for, the value if true, value if false นะครับ something like that. So normally we put it for value if true. If it's in the range of 0 to 59, you put U grade in this example. If it is from 60 to 79, you put S grade นะครับ and the last one we have value 80 to 100 นะครับ. If you want to check on 100 as well นะครับ you put the circle on 100. Otherwise if you don't want to check anything that is just like over 100, you can leave it as an arrow like this นะครับ and then you put O on the top. When you have this one already นะครับ we use the ideas in order to just like prepare the flowchart for this one. Somebody said that they may not want to use the flowchart, while somebody still want to use the flowchart in this one. So you can see that for this one. Okay, let me just like show you once again. When we talk about the range of the score like this, like the number line that we prepare, we start preparing our flowchart by having a start นะครับ and then we just go to like input the score, or somebody say that no, I don't want to input the score because I have it already. For example, in this case, assume that we have in the cell B45 นะครับ, then we start checking it. The way to do นะครับ we just like start from the lowest grade นะครับ to the higher one, or we may start from the highest grade down to the lower one นะครับ depends on you. But for me, in order to make it easy, I start from the lowest grade first. I check for the score นะครับ in the first range. The score in the first range, how do gonna formulate the flow chart for the if in here. You can see that if you have a look นะครับ the score in here is from 59 0 to 59, right? We stick on the maximum one, that is 59 นะครับ, or in here because we just like draw the number line นะครับ from the value that is less than 60 in here. So we can put นะครับ the if นะครับ in the diamond shape that okay, B45 is less than 60 นะครับ so this diamond shape represent the first range นะครับ. For the value if true, we say that grade is U นะครับ but anyway if the value if the logical test B45 is less than 60 is false นะครับ what does it mean? B45 is less than 60 is false means that B45 is greater than or equals to 60. You can see that if the score นะครับ that is greater than or equals to 60, you cannot justify whether it's the S grade or O grade right now. You have to make a decision first, because it might be possible that the score that is greater than 60 or equals to 60 might go to O grade as well. For example, if the score is like, let's say 85 is not less than 60, right? And also 85 is not in S grade too. So that's why you have to check first. When you check, you go to have another decision making, another diamond shape. In this diamond shape, we check for the second range. The second range, because we passed the first range already. The second range, we just like check from this one. We see at the maximum point here. You can see that the maximum point here is less than, is the point of 80, and we exclude this 80. We check the value from 80 and below. So that means you check if B45 is less than 80. Okay, somebody said that, hey, but what if the score is like 40? What will happen to this diamond shape? It will never pass this diamond shape. It will never be entered into this diamond shape, because if the score is 40, let's say, the B45 is less than 60 here, we'll just like get that one and show the U grade already. So that's why don't worry if the B45 is just like let's say 40, 30, something like that. we did it already นะครับ this one we just check whenever the score pass this first diamond shape it goes to the second one when it goes to the second diamond shape นะครับ if the score is less than 80 that means the score is between 60 นะครับ and the value that is less than 80 นะครับ actually it is 79 when it's true it goes to show the grade is S otherwise นะครับ in here it depends on you if you say that you don't want to check anything more นะครับ just any value that is greater than 80 you can give O grade that is okay but if you say that no I want to check the score that must be in the range of 0 to 100 that means the score that is over 100 must be the error in here so you can have another diamond shape to check นะครับ if B45 is less than or equals to 100 นะครับ because the score can be 100 points as well นะครับ if the score is in the range of of the value between 80 to 100 you just like show the grade that is O but otherwise you show the error grade นะครับ in this case นะครับ in what situation that the grade will be shown as error นะครับ the grade can be shown as error whenever the score is not less than or equals to 100 it means that it is greater than 100 anyway so that means if you put the score 102 103 นะครับ it shows the error for sure and after that you finish up all of this flowchart by linking all of the display value นะครับ because it has to be ended at the stop you just link them นะครับ with the on page connector the circle and after that you just like stop then when you have to formulate นะครับ when you have to formulate the this one the way that we do นะครับ is not difficult at all นะครับ let me just like show you once again on the screen in here นะครับ the way that you do if you have the flow chart already นะครับ it will be very easy so the way to do in this one is that you just put equal sign first begin with if นะครับ and after that we start with นะครับ we begin our if function นะครับ below this one below this red line so in this one you see that we have if นะครับ B45 we start from the first diamond shape less than 60 นะครับ comma value if true นะครับ you display you like this นะครับ but value if false you continue checking by having another if นะครับ B45 is less than 80 นะครับ comma value if true of the second checking is grade S นะครับ comma value if false of this one นะครับ we still check by using another if B45 is less than or equals to 100 comma value if true it's O grade otherwise นะครับ in this one we go to the false part that is error นะครับ and then we just close the parenthesis of the innermost one close the parenthesis of the second one and close the outmost parenthesis นะครับ in here so if you remember นะครับ if you remember I told you that นะครับ one good tools that we may be able to use is Notepad, right? Why do we have to use Notepad? So let me just like show you นะครับ when we have to use Notepad it will be like this ครับ okay, here let me just like show you this screen okay it is one นะครับ when you use the tools like the Notepad one and if you have like the complicated functions like this you may put like this ครับ you separate นะครับ the function into different lines in here easily you know that okay the first part is logical tests right The second one is value if true, and if it is value if false, you just like put the enter down into another line. This is the value if false of the first if. After that, when you have the second if, you can see that you can put the value if true of the second if in here, so that you can consider whether what you write down is correct or not. And this is the value if false of the second if. For the third if, O is the value if true of the third if, right? And error is the value is false, value if false of the third if. Okay, you can write them in that look like the blocks. Okay, in this one, I can see that I forgot double quote for error. Okay, then I can put it here. And after that, I just start closing parentheses. You can see that to check number of parentheses. You can see that, okay, in here, I close the first parenthesis already. Now I close the second parenthesis. This one, you can see that this is the second parenthesis. And the last one is the first parenthesis, or the outermost parenthesis is here. Okay. Now you can see that we have blocks of the if for the nested if already. You can see that we have like many if, right? So this one is the whole if that we have got. This one is the second if, and this one is the third if. So when you just like see that, okay, this is our if function that we write down, and we check that, okay, we complete all of the value if true, value if false of every if already. When you just like want to bring it into your Excel, you just copy this one, okay? And when you just like go to Excel part, okay, let me just like give it to you again, okay, this one. When you go to Excel, how it looks like. In Excel, in here, you can see that if I want to have it, I double click on the cell, right? And then I paste. So when you paste like this, you may just like leave the function to be like this and press enter. To press enter. So this one, that means there are some of the cells that I have. Oh, the double quote symbol is not proper one in this one because I use the text edit on Mac to do that. Then I have to fix it a bit. So if you are sure that your function is correct, but it shows the error, the name error like that, that might be because of the double quote symbol. Just simply go to fix it. Okay, now I fix it already. You press enter. In this one, it shows error grade. B45. Where is it? B45 is here. Unfortunately, it's the word Amy. It's not related to this example, so that's why it shows error. But this one, if I just like put it as like let's say C36, okay, that is Jim's grade. See what happened, in this one for Jim grade, it shows you, right? Okay, so in this one, if you have entered the data, or the function in Notepad, and you just like press enter to put them in different lines, in many lines like this, you can copy and paste into Excel, and then this one is okay. It doesn't have, or it doesn't cause any problem. It's like a block in you writing a program. It's the same thing. But somebody said, Ajahn, I don't like this one. I want it to be in one line. What should I do? You can just like double click on any cells you want to enter the formula, and paste that formula. Paste that formula into the cell. And then you can just like make them to be in the same line as well. No problem. It depends on you, how many lines you would like to have. Somebody prefer to have everything to be in one line only. That is okay too, because I mean, like when you copy this formula to other places, it will be easy for you to consider in this one. you may just like use this one, or if you prefer to have like the if function in many lines, it's okay too. So this was the thing that we study from the last class for the nested if that we have got. Okay, now we talk about the next example before we end the class. I told you that I would like you to help calculating this bonus rates, the formula for calculating bonus rate using if functions in the yellow cells here and then calculate the bonus amount of each person by multiplying the bonus rate by the sales amount. The bonus rate depends on numbers of years that that salesperson served the company and we have the range of the bonus rate with the years like this. Okay, so right now anyone who did it already who find the bonus rate for me already, could you please copy and paste your formula of just one person is enough, and these of Andy. Copy and paste the bonus rates, the function to find bonus rate of Andy for me in the chat box so that I know you did it already, and we will just like check it whether it's correct or not. Okay, Patipon, you are very ready you show us the answer already. What about others Anybody finish this example just type your if function in the chat box Okay, I think somebody is preparing your answer I give you another 1 minuteประพันธ์ชินชัด okay, you show me as well okay, ชินชัด show us the answer as well that Andy got 0.03. okay, that's good okay, what about others okay, while I'm waiting for you in order to just like show us what you did the things that I want to remind you and warn you is here everyone. So be careful when you get the range like this, somebody put this one as logical test what do they put? They put equals to if suppose we talk about years of work like D44 less than 1, okay, comma 3%, comma if D44 1 to 5, something like that. No this one the table like this, you cannot use it like this one for the first line is okay, less than 1, but 1 to 5 or more than 5, you cannot type more than 5 in the logical test you have to convert it into the expression, the mathematical expression 1-5 in math. It doesn't understand what you mean okay, right. Okay, so in this one what do we have to do in order to get this one actually I put this one in the flow chart if somebody notice it, we have that one as well okay, let's have a look for the flow chart you can see that actually for the years that customer work with us, sorry, the sales person work with us, we have 3 different ranges of years less than 1 year get 3%, 1 to 5 year get 5%, and more than 5 year get 7%. The way that we do as these comparisons are number of years, they are numbers. I will use number line to help. Then I draw a number line and the spot of values that I have to enter into my number line. You can see that for these 3 ranges, I have just like 2 numbers only, 1 and 5 but we have 3 ranges, less than 1, 1 to 5, and more than 5. Then I just put 1 and 5 in my number line. Then I just like start my first range Okay, the first range less than 1 year means that we exclude one, right? Go to the lower one นะครับ get 3%. next นะครับ for 1 to 5 นะครับ means that we have to include 1 and 5 into the second range too. Then I put dark circle here and put 5%. And the last one นะครับ greater than 5 years I have one circle นะครับ the white circle at 5 years and the arrow to the right hand side 7% ครับ this is the number line that I have got. After that I just like prepare the flow chart from this number line. I said that okay, we start assume that we have the years of work in cell C55. Okay, next นะครับ we start checking the first range. For the first range is the easiest one. I just like do from the 3% first, and then I check for 5 and then go to 7 นะครับ. I will not jump back and forth นะครับ. So that means I will not start from 3% checking and then I jump to 7% checking and go back to 5%. No, that one will mess up your if function นะครับ. You do from lowest one to highest one or highest one down to lowest one นะครับ. Okay, now I start from the lowest one. I check นะครับ if C55 is less than 1 นะครับ or not, because this one is exclude 1. So in this one นะครับ if C55 is less than 1 year, I can just like type some text in นะครับ because this is not the Excel function yet. I just write down some words so that I can understand what is this flowchart about นะครับ okay, or somebody may say that if years of work นะครับ and then you put less than symbol and then 1 year นะครับ that one is okay too, because somebody said that okay C55 somebody else or I mean other people may have like different cells. Okay, then you may write down the word number of years work. That is okay too นะครับ if it's true it has 3% นะครับ for bonus. next นะครับ if it's false you still have to check นะครับ continue checking. You pass 1 year already, then you have to check on 5 years นะครับ so from 5 years that means if the C55 is less than or equals to 5, because in here นะครับ you pass this first check already. If C55 is not less than 1, it means that it's greater than or equals to 1, means that 1 is also included in this line as well นะครับ for the false line as well. Then you just check for the 5 นะครับ 5 years, and in this one the second range นะครับ 5% here includes 5% as well, sorry, include 5 year as well. So you have to check if C55 is less than or equals to 5 in this one. If it's true นะครับ bonus is 5%. otherwise นะครับ you have the last range. In this last range นะครับ you can see that it doesn't say anything else, just say that more than 5 years 7%. That means if C55 is not less than or equals to 5, not less than or equal means that it's greater than, so it means that it's greater than 5 years. So you can put 7% straight away นะครับ without any other checking anymore นะครับ. After that we just like finish it, and then we just formulate this one นะครับ we just formulate this one to be the if function นะครับ in order to formulate to be if function, okay, let me just like type it in here. Okay, I may type in the notes. I put equals to if นะครับ and then the first one นะครับ if C55 is less than 1 นะครับ I put C55 is less than 1 comma นะครับ value if true is 3% นะครับ comma value if false I put another if C55 นะครับ is less than or equals to 5 comma value if true I give 5%. Value if false, I give 7%. And then I start closing the parenthesis for the if. Okay. So because I have just two if only, then I have just two right parentheses here. I copy this one into Excel. Okay, let's see. When I copy it into Excel, okay, I double click in here, and the cell that is used to store is in cell D44 in here, D44. And then I copy the formula. For this one, when you have this one already, you can see that. Okay. Whenever we have this one, the rest of the people get the bonus rate like this. For this one, we may do the walkthrough to our flowchart as well, or we may walk through to our function. Okay, let's have a look. If I walk through to if function directly, the first one 0.5. 0.5 is less than 1, so it goes to 3%. Yeah, that's correct. Next, for the next person, it's 1. 1 year. So the 45 is less than 1. 1 is not less than 1. It goes to false. So false is if 1 is less than or equals to 5. Yes, 1 is less than or equals to 5. Then it's 5%. Yeah, this one is correct. Do the same thing for 3. 3 is not less than 1. It goes to false part. 3 is less than or equals to 5. Yes, so this person get 5%. Yeah. For 2, it's the same. And the last one, Dion, she works for 6 years. So 6 is less than 1 or not? No. We go to false part. Is 6 is less than or equals to 5? No. Then we go to false. That's why for Dion, she should get 7% for bonus rate. And this one is the correct one for the formula that we have got. Okay, let me copy the formula to you. In this one, if you want to see the formula in full scale, you go to formula bar, move the arrow to the border, bottom border of the formula bar and drag down. Then you can see the formula bar fully in this one. Okay, I copy this one to you. This is the formula for finding the bonus of the employee. And in order to calculate the bonus amount, it's easy. You just multiply bonus rate that you calculate by if by sales amount. And then you can just like drag to copy it. This is the formula to calculate bonus amount. Okay, right. Okay, for this example, do you have any questions, anyone? Okay, so if you don't have any questions, I would like you to do the next example for the nested if to practice. Okay, in this example, assume that we have the day of week. Okay, class, can you tell me normally when you set up your schedule for each term, which day that you normally set up the day that you have no class? Can you tell me? Okay. Many of you said that Friday, right? Okay. So I set it as Friday then. Okay. So I put นะครับ in the another part of นะครับ the screen that I have no class on Friday. So I have another column to ask whether you have class or not นะครับ Okay. Okay. Assume that นะครับ on the day that you hang on. Sorry, I should just like put some more line in here. Okay. Assume that นะครับ on the day that you have class your parents give you an amount of money นะครับ if you don't go to the uni นะครับ you get half of that amount นะครับ assume that we said okay in this one นะครับ your parents say that okay the amount of money that you get นะครับ on the class day is 1,000 in this one นะครับ I said that okay use the function use if function to fill up the table below นะครับ on the day that you have class you have to show I have class otherwise show I have no class นะครับ in this one you just compare with the yellow cell in this one นะครับ in for my screen it is cell G57 if it is the day that you have class นะครับ you show I have class นะครับ like this and this one you can see that you said you don't have class on Friday so you must show I have no class on Friday here next column นะครับ we said that on the day that you have class your parents give you amount of money if you don't go to uni you get half of that amount นะครับ so that means in this example นะครับ on Monday to Thursday you get 1,000 and on Friday you get half of it that is 500 นะครับ on the last column นะครับ class day flag on the day that you have class enter I want you to show not enter have show 3 star like this and on the day you have no class I want you to show 3 assigned symbol instead sorry let me just change the symbol it seems like assign symbol doesn't work in here okay so I want you to show OOO instead so it will be like this ครับนะครับ so this is what I want ครับ how do you gonna use if function from what we studied in order to fill up these 3 columns นะครับ have class นะครับ column cat column and class day flag column ครับ in this example นะครับ because I just like have many requirements นะครับ so I'll give you 10 minutes to do this one นะครับ I have 10 minutes to do this one so before I let you do this one by yourself นะครับ so do you have any questions to ask ครับ before I just let you do it okay let's change to be this one นะครับ choose OOO instead okay right Okay, so if you don't have any questions นะครับ let's begin doing it นะครับ we have 10 minutes to do when you do it นะครับ in this one if you have the answer already นะครับ please type your formula in the chat box นะครับ type your formula in the chat box for me okay we have 10 minutes ครับ everyone you may start now นะครับ okay time's up นะครับ time's up so do any of you can solve the half class column okay Chinchat start showing us your answer นะครับ okay Papan as well for catch class hang on let me see okay right what about the others ครับ can you solve these 3 columns or not okay ปฏิพล show us the answer as well นะครับ that's good นะครับ everyone so in this one นะครับ in this one let me show you that if I don't use the flow chart how do I gonna justify the answer for each column ครับ actually นะครับ actually this part is not difficult นะครับ if you read it carefully it looks difficult but actually it's not difficult at all you can see that in this case the day that you have class is on Friday only นะครับ this one you don't even use nested if to help just the basic if is enough how to ครับ in this one you just compare นะครับ you compare if นะครับ logical test is that you compare the day in column B นะครับ for example B57 equals to นะครับ the no class day or not if they are equals นะครับ you put I have no class นะครับ value if false I have class close parenthesis นะครับ so you can see that in here the only day นะครับ that shouldn't have the problem hang on is like Friday one but what's going on with my formula ครับ you can see that for the first cell no problem but when I go to the second cell นะครับ the G57 is moved down to be G58 too so this one is a problem then I have to lock the cell นะครับ I have to lock the cell before I copy this formula down okay so you can see that on Friday I have no class but this one you have to be careful นะครับ sometimes Friday that you see maybe the day that you have class like this what's the problem right now you can see that even though นะครับ the cell in here looks similar but actually it's not นะครับ now you can see that it's a comparison between text and text นะครับ Friday and Friday then you can use equal sign or inequality sign นะครับ to compare you can see that Friday in here the reason why it becomes I have classes because it's a Friday with a space นะครับ while this one is Friday without any blank space behind นะครับ we call it as white space or blank or the space behind the word Friday so that's why it becomes like they are not equals when they are not equals it shows I have class instead so you have to be careful about this one นะครับ okay next for the catch we do similar way ครับ somebody does like this นะครับ they check with the have class column นะครับ they check that if นะครับ the have class column show you that I have class นะครับ something like this comma the amount of money that you get is G59 นะครับ I lock the cell a bit otherwise it will be half of it okay so you can see that in here ครับhang on forgot to lock the cell again, sorry. So you can see that I check against this one. The word I have class in the second column instead. But somebody said, no. What if they change the wording from I have class, I have no class to be something else? It will be wrong. So somebody may say that instead of comparing C57 with I have class, I want to compare นะครับ B57 that is the day นะครับ with the I have no class day in the cell G57 instead นะครับ then it's okay too นะครับ so I just like show you a variety of setting up your if function นะครับ it can be varied. And the last one นะครับ class day flag I do the same thing with the first one นะครับ so in this one I said that okay if นะครับ the day in the first column equals to the no class day นะครับ comma I put otherwise I show 3 star. Don't forget นะครับ if you want to show some text put the double quote to surround that text too. Otherwise it will be the error นะครับ because text is different from numbers. You need to have the quotation นะครับ to surround that text. Okay. So in this one when you have this already นะครับ you can see that in here the last one is the day that you have no class. It shows OOO instead นะครับ in here. Okay, this is my formula นะครับ okay. Now let's see นะครับ if I change the day that I have no class to be on Wednesday instead. Let's see what happened นะครับ in the column C, D, and E will be automatically updated นะครับ class day flag will be changed to be Wednesday. I have no class will be on Wednesday. Catch 500 baht will be on Wednesday. So this is the way in order to use to apply if function into the reality. We work like this นะครับ okay. Now นะครับ before I move on to the next function, do you have any questions about like the basic if and the nested if, the standard one that we use until now? All right. If you don't have any question now นะครับ now let's add something more. If I have a problem นะครับ if I have a problem that you have no class on Monday and Friday, the nested if นะครับ the basic one that we learn นะครับ is not enough. You have to make your nested if to be more complicated นะครับ or in some situation นะครับ in some situation if you say that okay you would like to just like make your function นะครับ make your logical test to be tested as you write down but you just like want the value of the opposite way around from true to be false, from false to be true, or you would like to join some situation together. What are we going to do นะครับ apart from using or formulating the nested if นะครับ to be more advanced or to be more complex, one more way that we may use is that we may use the functions นะครับ other functions to help as well. Those functions will be used to join with the if function นะครับ those functions are and, or, and not function นะครับ and, or, and not function. Let's begin with the and, or, and not function. Okay, some of you when you study for the course like the logic course นะครับ there will be the table นะครับ of the facts นะครับ when there are like the fact like this นะครับ when there are the facts like this, for example we have the fact A and B นะครับ. And if we know that the fact A and B, there are like two possible status, true or false only. When you combine นะครับ those A and B นะครับ the situation A and B together นะครับ these are like the table to show us for all possible values when you combine A and B together นะครับ A can have true or false only while B can have true or false only as well นะครับ alright so in this one suppose you would like to use นะครับ or join these two terms นะครับ or these two events A and B together นะครับ what will happen if you join two events together นะครับ for example suppose I say that I want to go to watch the movie นะครับ I have two conditions in order to go to watch the movie the first one นะครับ I have money and the second one there's no rain นะครับ no raining out there so when these two situations are true then I'll go to watch the movie you can see that A นะครับ when I have the money that is true B when it's let's say I said that it's sunny day okay it's true then I go to watch the movie then A and B นะครับ true and true the result is true the next one when A is true means that I have money but it's not sunny out there I don't want to go to watch the movie ครับ so true and false is false next I don't have money today but it's sunny even though out there is sunny day but I don't have money then I don't go to watch the movie then false and true becomes false and lastly นะครับ I don't have money today and it's not sunny out there today too when false and false it becomes false I don't go to watch the movie นะครับ this is the way to join two events together นะครับwhen each event has its truth to become just like either true or false นะครับ when we join them together นะครับ after the joining นะครับ the result of joining will be like this that means if you join any situations together two situations together with and นะครับ the only chance นะครับ that the answer will be true is only one นะครับ whenever both situations are true นะครับ the next one when we talk about A or B นะครับ I say that okay in this situation we assume that we have the similar situation as the previous one นะครับ we talk about the money and we talk about the weather out there นะครับ I say that okay either one of these situation is true I'll go to watch the movie anyway นะครับ so that means when I have the money นะครับ when it's sunny out there นะครับ one out of this I go to watch the movie that means yeah I go to watch it's true next when I have the money นะครับ even though it's not sunny out there and let me hide this column first นะครับ otherwise you'll be confused if I have money even though it's not sunny out there I still want to watch the movie then it becomes true I go to watch the movie anyway next situation นะครับ I don't have the money but I really want to watch the movie นะครับ the sunny out there is very good it's sunny นะครับ the weather is good out there then I decide I may borrow the money from my friend นะครับ and go to watch the movie because it's sunny out there so in this one it's true as well I go to watch the movie and lastly นะครับ I don't have money the weather is not good out there either so in this case I'm not in the mood to watch the movie it's false นะครับ so that means in term of or when one of the situation นะครับ at least one of the situation that you are comparing is true นะครับ the answer for or function will be true compare with and that we did before the and function นะครับ all of the situation that you are comparing must be true first นะครับ then you can just like justify that and is true นะครับ so that means A and B and A or B are opposite way around นะครับ so the possibility in order to have A and B to become true is 25% only while A or B นะครับ it's 3/4 that is 75% นะครับ that can become true so it depends on how you're going to use it นะครับ I'll show you next on how they're going to use this one and for not นะครับ what does it mean not if we have not A sorry not A and not B not is the function that we use to switch the fact from true to false from false to true so in this case นะครับ okay let me hide and or and B first okay not A นะครับ when A is true not A means false not false mean true นะครับ here while not B นะครับ is opposite way around when B is true นะครับ not B is false sorry this one okay let me hide this first when B is false not B is true นะครับ it will be like this นะครับ not is used is function to use to switch นะครับ that fact from false to true from true to false okay so you can see that when we talk about true นะครับ or false these are what we call logical value นะครับ as I just like talk about this logical value long time ago นะครับ before we talk about if function I said that when we have the logical test it returns two possible values either true or false นะครับ and these are just like the logical value that we have got นะครับ when we have logical value the first thing that you have to know first logical value is not text นะครับ you don't need to put double quotes you just type true นะครับ or false straight away นะครับ without having the double quotes to surround it next นะครับ when we have the and or function and not function it seems to be useless because whenever we have true or false นะครับ in Excel it doesn't do anything much normally in Excel if we have to use anything after we have value if true value if false normally we either show some values or calculating something you can see that from the result that we have got in the if function I never show true or false at all but we show the grades we show the bonus we show the commission นะครับ but we never show the word true or false in our if function at all so how do we gonna use this and or not function ครับ normally and or and not are the functions that we have to use with if function นะครับ because and or not function itself themselves return just the logical value true or false only and it match with the if function ครับ everyone if you have a look นะครับ in the if function you can see that the part that is related is logical test นะครับ that returns true or false right so that means you can just like use and or not in the logical test นะครับ in order to produce the value of true or false or just like shuffle or reverse นะครับ the result for example นะครับ for example if you remember นะครับ in this one you can see that okay before I talk about that one okay let me just like show you how to use and or not function first okay sorry I forget about that okay for and function first okay let's see and function นะครับ for and function if you want to use and function followed by logical 1 logical 2 นะครับ that means inside logical 1 logical 2 can be นะครับ the logical value can be the logical test นะครับ it's up to you นะครับ for example if we say that we have two events นะครับ the first event is the day that you have day off and the second one is the cash that you receive นะครับ in that one if you want to join them together you can just like join them by using add function as well นะครับ or in this case นะครับ if you have a look if I use A and B นะครับ the way to use นะครับ is the function and sorry I have to use add function นะครับ A comma B like this นะครับ this is the add syntax of add function let's see นะครับ if I use add function to compare sorry to join A and B together what will happen I'll use add function นะครับ as I told you earlier นะครับ for the value true or false they are logical value so I can put it in the logical 1 logical 2 in add function straight away นะครับ I use the logical value of A นะครับ in logical 1 and logical value of B นะครับ in logical 2 in this one I use and B67 C67 that means I want to just use true and true นะครับ so in this one it returns true ครับ so if I just like copy it นะครับ you can see that the second one true and false third one false and true and the last one false and false if you have a look นะครับ it's the same as A and B ครับ if you see นะครับ the result are absolutely the same นะครับ it is and followed by two of the logical value นะครับ in this one while A or B นะครับ while A or B is similar ครับ we have or followed by logical 1 logical 2 in this one I use A or A comma B นะครับ in my function I use or so for all function here นะครับ I use A นะครับ or B so it will be or A67 sorry B67 C67 นะครับ and then it returns the value for me you can see that if we compare นะครับ with what we have got นะครับ what we have got on A or B that we did before here it's comparable ครับ same นะครับ for this one and lastly when we talk about notนะครับ it's just like switch or reverse the value of the logical value that you enter into this function นะครับ for example right now A is true not A is false so for not function นะครับ we just choose not followed by the logical value inside or the logical test inside นะครับ in here so I put not A นะครับ in here so it reverse from true true false false to be false false true true while not B นะครับ I use the same thing not B B is in cell C67 นะครับ so it be false true false true instead of true false true false นะครับ all right so this is the way that we use in order to just like use it let me just like type all function นะครับ and not function for you ครับ so these are just like the function that we use นะครับ the one that I copy to you in the chat box are these function for these 4 cells. right okay นะครับ so these are and or and not function that we may be able to use with นะครับ our logical test นะครับ that we may have okay then นะครับ everyone up to this point do you have any question for these example ครับ for the and or and not that we have got so if you don't have any questions นะครับ before we move on to the next topic let me just like show you the assignments that I would like you to do นะครับ okay let me just like show you on the screen first นะครับ before I just enable it to let you see it นะครับ for the parts that you have to do just give okay so everyone ครับ if you are ready นะครับ just like log in into your e-learning ครับ this one you see นะครับ right now you see exercise 1 to 5 นะครับ let me just like show you first นะครับ exercise 1 นะครับ for exercise 1 in here okay let me just like check it for exercise 1 นะครับ it's a function sorry it is the exercise that I would like you to practice on using the basic sum function and if function นะครับ okay so นะครับ the next exercise นะครับ is exercise number 2 for exercise number 2 นะครับ this exercise ครับ is the exercise that I would like you to practice using if function as well ครับ in order to find the positions of the applicants นะครับ of the applicants we have to use if function as well in this one นะครับ for the next example นะครับ next exercise for exercise number 3 นะครับ exercise number 3 wood bridge furniture we also still would like you to have the practice on using the function like sum, min, and max. Oh, hang on. Exercise 3, you can still not do it. You have to study for the lookup reference function first. Let me hide it for you first นะครับ otherwise you'll be confused. Exercise 3, not yet นะครับ Exercise 3. Next นะครับ for exercise 4. For exercise 4, you have to practice on financial function that we learned before นะครับ Next one is exercise 5. For exercise 5 is for the financial function as well นะครับ that I want you to practice. Okay, so นะครับ I would like you นะครับ to do these exercises during this I mean like during from today until next week until we meet each other นะครับ I give you 7 days in order to complete นะครับ these exercises so that means นะครับ I would like you to submit these 4 exercises นะครับ1 2 4 and 5นะครับ1 2 4 and 5 by next Wednesday before midnight นะครับ I open up the submission for you very soon นะครับ submit it to me before next Wednesday night นะครับ so that means you have 7 days to do this one นะครับ exercise 1 2 4 and 5 okay hang on let me just having this one for you hang on today is 25th so it will be by the 1st of June นะครับ before midnight okay, let me set the date first okay so when you submit to me นะครับ one file per one exercise นะครับ so you just set it up as okay exercise 1 exercise 2 exercise 4 and 5 so that when I just like check for you I can check it easily นะครับ okay okay ครับ so this one hang on once you refresh the screen you should see the same thing as my one let me just like share you my screen นะครับ here okay so you just like submit 1 2 4 and 5 for me by next Wednesday นะครับ so that means on next week we are going to continue talking about like other functions in Microsoft Excel นะครับ so that you can just like do more assignment for me นะครับ these exercises they have the score too นะครับ as I mentioned in the course syllabus นะครับ the assignments นะครับ will be 5% นะครับ so you have to just like do this assignment for me too okay okay then นะครับ up to this point do you have any questions ครับ anyone